What is going on, guys? SpitefulHopes back again, coming at you with the worst units of 2019. And I know that this video is a year late, but check this out. The chat said, "Yo, it's like, oh, we should do a 2019 list," and I'm like, hell, sure, shit, I can use the views. Why not? So we put together the list, and it's kind of crazy to see how far Caleb has come in terms of making just high quality characters. As you saw in the 2020 list, or for those that haven't watched it, you can watch it right here. 2020 didn't have a lot of bad characters. A lot of the characters on that list were not necessarily bad. They just weren't as OP as some of the other units that were released this year. That also being said, we did get a ton of 1000-year Blood War units and Can't Fear Your Own World units, so there is that to go along with it. But like going into it, as you'll see here in this list, there's a lot of characters that I thought would have been on this list. We have Gin, we have Cayenne Sentaro, Christmas Soifon couldn't even clear her own point event even with the best equipment. Orihime was not a bad character, it's just a little underwhelming because of her first strong attack, and then of course she has the heal barrier type move. And we've discussed like healing right now. A healer doesn't really have too much use at the moment. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like heal should come with the cleanse or something in order to like stop weakening like on your allies and stuff like that. I feel like that could be a nice buff. It could be useful. I really do believe so. And of course the infamous manga Aizen, which surprisingly yeah, so going into this list you'll see just how far like we've come in terms of just how bad characters were in 2019 alone. First on the list, number 10, we have to give it to Ruruka. Ruruka, she's not necessarily a bad character, but she does have a lot that really goes against her. She has weakened defense on her ultimate, which is pretty nice with the paralysis. Devastation, 40%, debilitator 5 seconds with paralysis. Soul Reaper Killer, which is nice, but she does have the 18% magnification for strong attack. She doesn't have Berserker 20%, so she's going to fall a little bit behind in that regard. Second strong attack is pretty poo-poo, and then on top of that she has a full screen third strong attack. Not necessarily bad, that's why she's so low on the list. Next on the list, Jushiro. I'm pretty sure Jushiro only made it this low on the list simply because of his link. Damage inflicted at full stamina is very, very good when it comes to stuff like Guild Quest. We'll see if that's going to be in the meta with the new changes of Guild Quest. I made a video earlier today for those that are interested in that. Devastation, 40%, Frenzy, and Medic. First strong attack is a belt beam, but unlike the 2500 length beam that a lot of characters are getting nowadays, this one is simply just 1250, so literally half the length, and on top of that the width on it is only 575, so about 60% of the width of the normal 870 seconds standard 2500 length beam, which is really pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's 710 for a beam that's 2500 length, and it's 870. Is it 710? $725. Okay, so I mean, I guess it's not as bad, but like still, it's very, very, very skinny beam. All right, and then second strong attack is going to be the standard heal type AOE, which hits a melee type move instead of a range, which means you can't guard break with it. Like we already talked about, like heals aren't necessarily the greatest thing at the moment. And then he has the 1000 vacuum into explosion. Not a bad strong attack, but it does hold you in place for a little too long than I personally would like. And considering he doesn't have Berserker or Havoc 20%, he doesn't get the crazy range on it. Number 8 on the list, Ikaku. He's just mid. Like, he's just super, super mid. Strong attack, recharge, link, at least that's good. Frenzy. He does have long reach, 20%, which is kind of nice if you run out of strong attacks. He has a standard lunge for a strong attack, 625 into 675 AoE distant. Not necessarily too bad, but like it does lock you in place for a little too long, and since he doesn't have Havoc or Berserker 20%, it really does hold him back. And then he doesn't even have a full screen third strong attack, only 900 radius. Not the end of the world, but like it just could be better. Next on the list, Swimsuit Yoruichi, and don't let this art fool you. She is, if manga Aizen and Quincy Ichigo is the range collision king, we have the range collision queen here. She does have weaken on everything, strong attack, recharge minus 12%, no affiliation killer just like Quincy Ichigo. Bruiser 20%, devastation 40%, debilitator 5 seconds. With the weakening on everything and frenzy, she's not necessarily a bad character. She does have the devastation 40, which is nice, but like with the She has a 40% magnification, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but no Havoc, no Berserker back in this day. She does have the Breath Style second strong attack, just like Tokinata / Bankai Ikone. Third strong attack is going to be a standard full screen third strong attack. She's not necessarily bad. What I do like about her is that she is, at the end of the day, a Yoruichi, which means she has 4 flash steps, which is really good. But like a lot of people were like, yo, you're disrespecting Yoruichi, and I'm just like, I mean, not really. Like, I feel like they disrespected her. Like, we did get 1000 Year Blood or Yoruichi, which was really good. The speed Yoruichi, the Espada Killer, is pretty good, but I wish she had more use. And this Yoruichi, honestly, her only real use is epic raids and being able to flash step out of the purple AoEs that would one-shot you. Next on the list, Shinji. Shinji's not necessarily bad. What he does have is long reach 20%, bruiser 80%, damage inflicted at low stamina 30%. He's really good in guild quest. He's really good in something like epic raids. Epic raids, he actually performs incredibly well when he is bonus. He does have an Arankar killer as well, and I'm pretty sure he has killer on the epic raid that he has bonus in. But honestly, like, at the end of the day, Flurry is just significantly better, and nowadays we're getting Bruiser plus 20 to 40% with a Flurry. So, like, not even having a Bruiser of 100% is a little jarring, personally speaking. Next on the list, Shunsui. He does have a lot of range collision. The reason that he's here is, honestly, I feel like he'd be much better if he just had a strong attack recharge link. At the very least, then he would be useful as a link, but unfortunately he doesn't have that. He is a Chronicle Quest bonus character along with Ikaku, so he does have at least some use there. First strong attack, 60% magnification for his shave style attack. Not necessarily the worst one, but it doesn't really push back all too much. Second strong attack is a crawling vortex and full screen third strong attack. One thing to note though is that lacerate is very, very inconsistent, and unless you know 100% when it's going to wear off and you can properly time it, I feel like just having lacerate puts you at a bigger risk than something like poison or burn, which is very, very easy to time the the enemy's health bar, as opposed to timing the enemy's health bar and making sure that they're not clapping your cheeks while they lose the lacerate status element and then just soul bomb you until you're dead. Next on the list, Cayenne. Cayenne's pretty mid. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, this character was like kind of dead on arrival. He did come out, I believe, January 2019, which is really. Did Cayenne actually get released then? Like, no, I can just do premium. 16. Did Cayenne actually get released? Cayenne actually was released in 2019. Dang, bro. He's worse than like 2017 units, bro. Like, that's dang, he actually came out in 2019, like February 16, 2019. This was such a bad banner. This was a horrible banner. So you got Cayenne, weakened defense, sprinter +1, process, immunity, frenzy. Going into his actual kit though, range collision for strong attack 18%, magnification. And then he does have a crawling vortex and full screen third strong attack. I remember I really wanted him just because I like Cayenne in general. And then when I pulled him, I'm like, wow, why did I want this character? He's so bad. Third on the list, Retsu. Power Retsu, I don't even think that she's necessarily a bad character. She does have the nat string of Tokinata, but she doesn't have guard break. She has a bruiser of 100% when you factor in her normal attack damage link. But unfortunately, normal attack damage 20% links are kind of outdated. She has a barrier on her second strong attack, so at least she has some protection there. But there's just much better power holo killers than you would really want to use a NAD unit for. And if you want to use a NAD unit, then I guess nowadays you have Ravuka. She does have a heal on her special move, but one thing to note is that without guard break and without like flurry, she's definitely gonna fall behind. And even when she came out, she was kind of dead on arrival because she just had really no use. Anything that you would want to use her in, you were much better off using someone like 1000 Year Blood or Toshiro, where you can freeze the enemies and be able to just use your strong attacks and your soul bomb effectively. Second on the list, Zomari. Receive my love, Daddy Zomari, looking like a whole snack and a half. Bruiser 20%, Frenzy, Long Stride, and Sprinter +2. His literal only use was Guild Quest. And that was because of the Long Stride and the Sprinter +2, and that was under the assumption that you probably kept him at level 1, took a hold of his Sprinter, took a hold of his Long Stride, unlocked Frenzy, left him at level 1, and that was pretty much it. I asked the crew, I'm like, yo, chat, do you find him relevant enough? Do you find Guild Quest relevant enough to actually not place him on the top 10 list? And literally, it was a 85% no and 15% yes, if I remember correctly. He has a 30% magnification for strong attack, range, collision, so you do get quite a few hits on it. Second strong attack is going to be a breath style attack, so you get a bunch of hits on that. But it isn't the same as a elongated vortex either. And his third strong attack wasn't even full screen. He did get to zoom across the battlefield because of the long stride and sprinter +2. However, I don't feel like this character was remotely useful in anything other than just being a disappointment that you'd pulled him instead of someone like Noitora or even Yemi. At least Yemi I think was more useful than him, because you could actually use Yemi in epic raids on I think 2 different epic raids, which is kind of nice. And last but not least, the #1 voted unit with authority, by the way, because we did do Zomari versus Yoruichi, and Yoruichi won with like 70% of the votes. Not even a useful link. Last ditch survival with +100. Hollow killer. He does have frenzy, devastation 40%, but he has paralysis instead of the normal weakening that he normally would have gotten, which makes him like not even remotely really useful. Standard lunge for strong attack, range, collision, the second strong attack. I honestly don't even remember what this looked like, which is pathetic. And then his strong attack 3 is not even full screen, 900 radius. Yoruichi is by far one of the worst units in the entire game to come out, as well as Retsu and of course Zomari. These 3 characters together ended up winning almost all the votes whenever they were present, which was absolutely mad. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the list for the 2019 worst units of Bleach Brave Souls that were released that year. But I'm going to leave it at that. You guys grind on, catch up, stay blessed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. I know a lot of people were hoping that I might have put Aizen in here, but honestly, like, we discussed it, and honestly, Aizen was pretty mid, but he was more disappointing than actually that bad in comparison to everything that was released throughout the year. But I'm going to leave it at that. You guys grind on, catch up, stay blessed. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Peace.